Thank you very much, Greg, for that kind introduction. And thank you, everybody, for spending your valuable afternoon here with us today. So today I'm going to talk about a very topical topic, fighting medical fake news. So we all know internet is the most popular source of information now, from be it for looking for restaurants or shopping, but in particular consumer health information. There's so much information out there, and it's good that people are more engaged in taking care of their own health and self-care. And actually saying, I saw this online has now replaced the previously what was said, my friend told me. Right now we don't say my friend told me, you actually saw it, I saw it on the internet. And there are many positive effects, all right? As I said, more patients are now more engaged in their own health care. Your patients and their families are more empowered. And this probably may lead to some improved healthcare outcomes. However, with every new technology, there are always going to be good and there's going to be bad points, all right? So there was two sides of the coin. Dr. Google can inform you, but if you look at the wrong things, you can get misinformed. It can inspire you, it can discourage you, it can clarify or it can confuse you. And what we're going to do here today is try to see how we can learn how to better use the internet. So more about the negative impact of the internet. You can lead to what we call cyberchondria, all right? So basically, you have a headache, you look up headache, and then it comes out with 10 causes of headache, which from the very minor one to the maximum one, brain tumor, all right? And depending on your predisposition, some people will automatically assume that I got the worst one, I got a brain tumor. So you start going around, you got a headache, oh, I must have a brain tumor, right? Or it could be the other way around. You may have something more serious, but you look at the 10 causes and you choose the most minor one. You say, oh, it must be this one. It's the minor one. I don't need to see doctor. All right? So depending on how you are already predisposed before you even search, it can affect. You are just using what you find on the net to justify your preconceived ideas. All right? And that can have, of course, adverse outcomes. You can end up taking unproven treatment. You look at this little picture here, better than chemo. Turmeric kills cancer, not patients. All right, and if you're predisposed to that, you are scared of chemo, your friend tells you chemo is very bad, and you see, hey, turmeric is natural, it's not harmful, and something you saw on the internet says it can cure cancer. Again, you're predisposed to that, you may decide, I will listen to this rather than listen to my oncologist. And all of this can lead to loss of trust in established medicine, because you say, hey, how come my oncologist never tell me about this magic turmeric? He must be bluffing me, he makes money from chemo, so that's why he didn't tell me about turmeric. False news in medicine has many names, okay? It can be misinformation. This is accidentally false news, all right? Maybe because of poor interpretation, etc. But there is the intentional fake news. We see a lot of it in politics now, but it's also very prevalent in healthcare, all right? And then it can also be called pseudoscience or quakery. And the problem is false news spreads faster and further than true news because it's sensational, okay? Previously, we had this Zika virus, right? And they found out that 4 out of 5 posts on Zika virus on the Facebook were accurate, okay? But the 20% that were inaccurate were the ones that were the most viewed, commented, and shared. The most popular accurate news was by WHO and is viewed 43,000 times. But the one that's false, this highly popular but fraudulent video called 10 Reasons Why Zika is a Fraudulent Medical Hoax, was viewed 500,000 times and shared by 20,000 people. All right? So it spreads much further than the official news. All right? And the reason is sensational. If it's not sensational, it's, yeah, it's like that, what for spread it, right? So that is the problem. Now, there are many persistent cancer myths. I'm not going to go through all of them, but this is a good site. So if you like to take picture, you can take picture of this one, okay? So this is a good site to look at. It goes through to debunk in detail a lot of the persistent cancer myths. All right. Anyway, I will also give the slides to Greg, and I think if you would like a copy, I think you can approach Greg for the slides, right? Okay. So look at these 10 myths, see how many of them you have come across and how many you may have thought is true or your friends thought was true. I think more of us will find 1 or 2 here. Acidic diets cause cancer. I'm going to go through that later. Superfood prevents cancer. Okay, that's another one I'll go through later. But you can see these are just a snapshot. There are many, many more than this. And this can be very harmful. Okay, so this is a story. This woman is called Kim Turkham. She was 50 years old when she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Now, stage 3 breast cancer is not good, but there's still a chance of cure, but it is aggressive. And if she had gone through the usual medical treatment, be it surgery or chemo or radiotherapy, she had about 50% 5-year survival, 50% chance. Unfortunately, Kim didn't want, or she felt very perturbed by her choices. She felt, oh, surgery is going to affect her. And she wanted to find an alternate way, all right? And she was quite upset. I think one of the main things she said was because the doctors couldn't tell her why she had cancer, why me. And doctors, we cannot answer why you. We can say there are many reasons for it, but we cannot say why you in particular developed cancer. So she was very unsatisfied by that. So she came across a book called The Secret. I don't know how many people have read this, but essentially it's a book that says the power of positive thinking. If you want something hard enough, you can make it happen. So she felt that, hey, if I want cancer to go away, it will go away. And she looked around for alternate treatment and she came across this thing called the pH miracle. So this PhD, so-called PhD, Dr. Robert Young, he claims that acid causes cancer. And therefore, if you take a diet that is rich in alkaline, you will cancel out the acid and you will cure your cancer. So she believed this and she took it. And she was even shown in Oprah. Oprah actually put it on her show because she said, look, with self-belief, with this secret, and with taking control of her own destiny, not relying on the traditional medicine, she could cure her cancer. And for a while, she did okay. She was actually stable. All right, so she was at Oprah. And then this happened, okay? Within 3 years, she died. Okay, not that 5 years, but within 3 years, she died. All right, and this so-called best-selling pH miracle author is going to go to jail. And before he goes to jail, he declared freely that he has no high school, he has nothing beyond high school. All right, he go and put in his book PhD, and it's a book. You know, you can actually find the book. I don't know where you can still find it now, but last time you can still find it in our bookshops, right? Anybody can print a book, all right. Anybody can say they're PhD. Nobody checked on him, right? Not a microbiologist, not a doctor, not even a neuropathic doctor, not a trained scientist. He's nothing. But he had a book, and he sold millions. He hoodwinked a lot of people into believing his so-called diet. All right, and unfortunately, this lady paid the price. All right, so what's the hallmarks of medical fake news, or what we call pseudoscience or quakery, whatever you want to call it? It always appeals to uplifting beliefs. It claims to be holistic or natural because it sounds good, right? If it's the word holistic sounds like it covers everything, it's natural. It cannot be harmful. I mean, it's natural. As compared to antibiotics, chemotherapy, these are all man-made. How can this be better than something that's natural? All right, and unfortunately, that's not true. But people do tend to believe this thing that if it's natural, it must be good. I'll give some examples later why that's not true. It conflicts with well-established knowledge, but it can use scientific-sounding words, which are incomprehensible, but you don't understand it, but it sounds good, lah. You know, they use some science words. It sounds good, all right? And it relies heavily on personal testimony, okay? And a lot of us are like that, right? If your friend said this restaurant is good, then even though you haven't been there, because my friend said this restaurant is good, then it must be good. Similarly, if your friend said, oh, I take this diet, wow, after that, you know, my knee pain, everything all go, you say, hey, it must be good also. We rely a lot on personal testimony because you don't believe your friend will harm you, right? So I'm going to say why it's not that your friend harm you, but there is fallacy to thinking that just because there's a testimony that means that whatever treatment is being touted is good, okay? And it presents ideas that are very easy to understand, even though it's implausible, okay? So people who have these pseudo-scientific ideas, they actually say it with very great certainty, all right? And I'm going to explain why in a while. Let's see. Okay, let me go to this one first, regression fallacy. Okay, so in science, or anything in life, everything that's in the extreme, right, tends to go back to the average, okay? How I say, in medicine, I'll give an example. If you have a cold, all right, the usual cold, there's a natural history to it. If you did nothing, it gets better with time, all right? It may take 2, 3, 4 days to get better, but it will get better in time, all right? So if you wait, at first you're very sick, and then slowly you get better. So what we call it goes back to the normal. And this GPs face this a lot. So if you are sick, if you don't wait, you say, okay, first day I'm sick, I'm going to see the doctor. So doctor gives you some medicine. But day 2, you're not better. You say, wow, this medicine no good. You go and see the next doctor. Actually, by the 3rd day, you are better by yourself. But now when you see the second doctor, doctor gives you same medicine but different brand. 3rd day, you're better. Say, wow, the second doctor was damn good lah. He give me my medicine 1 day later, I'm well already. Wow, the first doctor gave me this medicine, didn't get better. But actually, if neither of them treated you, also you probably would have gotten better. Okay, so but you attribute it. You attribute this to the second treatment, even though you were going to get better anyway. All right, this is what we call by regression, I mean. But when it comes to a very serious illness such as cancer per se, even cancer, everybody thinks a straight line trajectory. That means you got cancer, you go down, you're gonna die in one straight line. It doesn't work that way. Just like anything, it'll be if your good times, your bad times, it goes up and down, up and down. But if you happen to take it at your sickest moment, you take some whatever voodoo thing, and you happen to get better a little bit after that, then you say, hey, this whatever this thing that you received, hey, it must be working because I felt better. On the contrary, if you didn't get better and you died, right, then you're not around to complain about it, lah. All right, so that is the problem with these so-called pseudoscientific treatments. All right. Another thing called a placebo effect. Okay, so we know that the power of the mind is very powerful. So if you give somebody, and doctors have known this for a long time, all right, if you give patients sugar pills or things that have no therapeutic effect, but you tell them, hey, this isn't very good, you should get better. And if the patient trusts you enough and believes in you enough, or the medicine, you will feel better. You will actually get better. All right, even though we gave you what we call a placebo, there's actually no therapeutic effect. All right, so and it's not just a thinking kind of thing. It can actually lead to measurable physiological response. That means your heart rate might get better, your blood pressure might get better, just because of pure belief. All right. So similarly, if your friend believed in something strong enough, he took it, he felt better, and they say, hey, this is really, really good, right? He may be having a placebo. He's not trying to mislead you. Your friend was not misleading you, but there was no therapeutic effect. It's just what we call a placebo effect, but you took his personal testimony, say, hey, my friend said it's good, therefore it's good. All right, and so we have to be watch out for things like this, okay? Not all fake news is intentional, but it's fake nonetheless. This Dunning-Kruger is a very impressive name, but essentially what it means is the less you know, the less you are able to recognize how little you know. Whereas the more you know, you realize there's a lot more that you don't know about. So for example, you talk to your doctor. Good doctors very rarely speak in absolutes. We rarely use the word never, and we rarely use the word always. Okay, because we know there are things that we don't know, and there's a lot of variation between individuals. But some patients don't like it that way because they want absolutes. They want that if I take this, I will get well. You don't like it when well, if you take this, 80% you'll get well, 20% you won't. All right, but that's because we know enough. But people don't know anything. They only know this one thing leads to this one thing, so that everything is absolute. You take this, sure you get well. All right, be careful of people who talk in absolutes. A lot of times because they don't know any better. All right, but because of that, it's not attractive to hear because it sounds like doubt, right? Your doctor, hey, how come you don't know? He only know like 80% like that. Like not very satisfying answer. Whereas some of these quacks, right, they're very confident. They say, oh, this one sure get better. And some people get swayed by that because they're looking for hope. And this person offers that hope in such absolute passionate belief, as opposed to patients the doctors who may be a little bit more balanced in their delivery. So they say, oh, this guy sounds like much more confident about what he's doing than my doctor. All right, and unfortunately, people can get fooled by that. So this is another example. This is jillyjuice.com. Okay, all right. So look at this. Okay, this is Jillian. Okay, who has a Facebook site on her magic treatment that can treat all ailments. Water, chopped cabbage, Himalayan salt. Okay, you can see all of this down there. All right, and look at what she claims it can do. Can reverse vasectomy, can regrow arms and limbs, and organs and cells. That means your arm got chopped off, you take this juice, your arm will grow back. How many of you believe this? It seems quite obvious that there's something wrong with this, right? It seems very obvious. Nobody should be fooled by this, don't you think? Unfortunately, when people are desperate, so this man is Mr. Bruce Bellman. Okay, so what happened is Mr. Bruce had pancreatic cancer, and he had chemotherapy, and unfortunately it didn't work for him. His cancer came back. And he was very desperate. He didn't want to go for any more chemo. And he came across this Jilly juice. And he said, hey, this Jilly juice can regrow limbs. It will cure my cancer. And he spoke to the person selling. He said, yeah, sure. You can do everything. You can cure your cancer. So he made a whole big batch of all of this Jilly juice, right? And he drank it. And, all right. So this is his story, all right? He was exposed to this, he took it, and he just kept drinking it as he was told to do so. And he drank so much of it that basically he had diarrhea. Basically, this Jilly juice causes diarrhea. And he was just having diarrhea after diarrhea. He lost all his salt in his body, and essentially he died soon after. That means even his pancreatic cancer, he probably had a few weeks, few months, but just by taking this Jilly juice, he died a few days later. All right? And the problem is, although this is so obviously obviously fraudulent pseudoscience, or not even science, quack. This site is still up there. The law cannot make her pull down her site. Facebook has not taken down her site. Okay? So you cannot trust, you cannot say, oh, just because it's the internet and think that someone has vetted it or that it's been allowed to be there. Anything can be on the internet. All right? So don't take it that's because of internet or Facebook someone has vetted it. No, nobody has vetted it. And even when it's proven to be false, it cannot be, it's very difficult to pull it down. Okay? So there's one thing to note. And this is another example of a very sad story of harm from a quack. So why are people susceptible to fake news? All right? It's not because people are not intelligent. All right? If you feel desperate, you're looking for hope, somebody can offer you hope in a reasonably packaged way, you may want to grasp at it. All right? And because a lot of it has to do, it's our own fault. Okay? Medical science hasn't advanced as much as everyone thinks. People think, oh, we're so advanced, we should be able to treat everything, cure everything. And the fact is, it's not true. We can't. There's still a lot of gaps, a lot of deficiencies that we are not able to overcome. All right? So when you feel vulnerable, you are more likely to consider other options. And that's where these people prey on people who are looking for hope. All right? And it's easy to mistrust medical cooperations and all that because, you know, drug companies, they make money from selling drugs. Chemo companies sell expensive chemo, and therefore they make money from it. So they must be trying to make more money from us, and that's why they tell us to take chemo, and vice versa for doctors and all that. So that leads to people distrusting the established medical institutions. And of course, just like in politics, it can be difficult to differentiate real news from fake news. Similarly for healthcare. All right. So later part of the talk, we're going to talk about how we can equip you all to be better able to differentiate the both of them. All right, so this was a survey done in Singapore, and it showed that most people say they can spot fake news, but actually when tested, right, that's not really true lah. So it showed here that almost half of 90% of Singaporeans when tested will have mistaken at least one piece of fake headline for being true. Okay, and why does fake news rule the digital space? Okay. So as I said, internet is unregulated. Last time you have newspapers. Newspapers have someone regulating. If it's a newspaper, an editor must look at it, must say that it's true before you can put it out on the news. If it's not true, you can sue the newspaper. All right? But internet, there's no editor. All right? People can put anything they want. Anybody can have a website. All right? So now the consumer, yourself, has to take over the role of being an editor. No one's going to do it for you. So if you want to consume news from the internet, you must also be the editor. All right? And the problem is when it's shared on social media, your Facebook, your WhatsApp, your friend sent to you, your friend's not out to harm you. So you think, hey, my friend sent me, he did the vetting. You think your friend did the vetting and the editing, and he said, oh, your friend saw it, he sent to you, must be true. Right? We pass it on to our friend. But actually your friend probably received from another friend, from another friend, another friend. And yet nobody did the vetting, it's just being spread. All right? And we always say, the more sensational it is, the more it spreads. Nobody spreads WHO news, right? It's the one that is sensational that's being spread on your WhatsApp group. All right, and the problem is this echo chamber effect. Okay, so basically, the algorithms for the software is, for all the social media is this: you like something, you get more of the same. You don't like it, you get less of it. That's why the same views get perpetuated because you like it. They say, oh, you think you like natural cures. Sorry, am I gone? Take out our battery. Can you hear me? Am I on? Okay, good. All right. So this echo chamber effect. So if your Facebook sees that, oh, you keep on liking all this thing about natural cancer cures, etc., it will send you more stuff, and then you start to think, wow, there's so many natural cures out there. How come I never see all this? There are so many people who believe in natural cures. It must be true. Similarly, if you do not believe, you think, oh, you are those who think, oh, chemo is a conspiracy, doctors are bad, etc. The more you more like things like that, more sites you will see of that. And that just reinforces your thinking. That is why in politics also, fringe views suddenly they start to think that the majority, when previously they were the minority, because it is reinforced by these social media algorithms. Okay, so there's an echo chamber effect. So how can we best use Dr. Google? So I said all the bad points. Now we look, how can we arm ourselves to best use Dr. Google? Okay, so you have to learn to use credible sources of information. You need to learn how to evaluate your source of information. And at the end of the day, it's work together with your doctor. Discuss the information you found with somebody that you trust. All right. Again, you can take photograph here. This is the recommended trusted online medical resources. All right. Medline Plus, drugs.com, WebMD, Healthline. Okay. Most of the things you need to look for, you should be able to find in these four websites. Okay. These are all neutral websites. They're not commercially beholden to anybody. So these are good sites. All right. Okay, I give everyone a moment to take picture. Okay, just be prepared. The next slide also you can take picture. All right. Anyway, if those of you who miss it, like I say, don't worry. Greg will supply you the slides. All right. This is another one. Editor, get someone else to do the editing. So there's this thing called the HON code, Healthcare on Net code. All right. So basically, this is a non-profit organization that vets through the websites and it gives them a certification. All right. So you can get this toolbar on your browser, and when you search websites, you can see those that have been approved. You get that little this little badge down there on the lower right, HON code. Okay. Now, of course, not all websites will get it. That doesn't mean that they're fake, but if the ones that do have it, you can at least be assured that hey, this one someone has vetted it. There's some certain standard to it. All right. All right, so this similarly, same thing, a certificate of compliance with the HON code. And these are the principles that this HON code goes by. Okay, the principle of good healthcare online resources. So this healthcare on the net will evaluate all the sites to these eight principles. Okay, but similarly, when you look at sites that do not have the HON code, you can use these principles to evaluate whether the site is dinkum. All right, so they should state the authority, the qualification of the authors. All right, they should talk about supporting, not replacing the doctor-patient relationship or conventional medicine. All right, and it should clearly distinguish advertising from editorial. Okay, we'll go through a few examples of of what's advertising. Look at who runs the site. Okay, anyone can put out a website. I already said that. Okay, so look. Who put out a website? Why did they put a website? If they put out a website to sell something, you should be on guard. Huh? All right. It's just like the people who sell bakwa, of course, will say pork is good lah. Huh? All right. So check the URL. Usually .gov.edu.org. These are all government agencies, universities. They tend to be quite fairly trustworthy. All right. But be careful that sometimes the front bit may be something you recognize, but the dot at the end is been changed. Huh? So it could be healthcare.com.gov will be okay, but if it's .go or something or .id, all right, that means they use the front bit because you're familiar to you, but actually it's not the same website. They're using to trick you. So be careful. Check the whole address. Okay, look at this one. The truth about cancer: educate, expose, eradicate. This looks quite a good website, don't you think? Right? Don't you think it looks quite a good website? Cancer causes, prevention, treatments, nutrition. Again, looks quite dinkum there. All right. Then we look here. 7 healing songs that banish stress and reduce cancer risk. Oh, that may be true. Research shows hemp may help treat and prevent ovarian cancer. Okay. So far, how many of you think that this is a good site? Nobody. Well, then I don't need to teach anymore. Everybody thinks it's not a good site. Okay. I thought it looked pretty, at first glance, it looks like a pretty good site, right? Pretty reliable site. Okay. So I said, look at authority, right? Who's behind the site? Okay, so let's look who is behind the site here. The truth about cancer. Oh, experts. They have 8 experts there. Then they all got the very impressive things at the back. MD, medical doctor, a few doctors. There's a neurosurgeon, scientist, nutrition expert. So far, so good. It looks like it's a good site. Everybody here is an expert. Okay, but be careful. The quacks have become sophisticated. Especially a lot of the quacks are actually so-called MDs or scientists. So we must look deeper. All right. So just by checking Wikipedia, I didn't do anything secret CIA stuff. I just took the first guy, this fella. I put his name and I look at Wikipedia. Okay, and this is what we find about the so-called Dr. Matthias Ralph. I'm sorry, it's a bit small for you, but essentially, he's described as an international campaign for the use of natural remedies. Okay, so far so good. But he unfortunately has disparaged the pharmaceutical industry and denounced retroviral medication. It's potentially endangered thousands of lives in South Africa. And basically, so as the head of medical science frontier, that means those Doctors Without Borders, says that this guy is killing people by luring them with unrecognized treatment without any scientific evidence. All right, he's been widely criticized by medical organizations, so forth and so forth. But basically, this guy is a bad hat, okay? And so if you just do a surface view, you say, oh, you will have missed this out. So that's why you have to be critical. Just because he has a DR in front, or prof, or scientist, or whatever it is, actually look at it. People who are real doctors, you type their name, you will see a lot. It's very clear that these are real doctors, or real experts, or real scientists. Are they trying to sell something? Okay, so Green Diamond #1 quality dates. Guess what they sell? Dates. All right, so they'll tell you that dates have a lot of nutritional value, countless health benefits, all right, including can maintain weight, energy booster, reduce stroke, all right, strengthen bones, prevent cancer, promote healthy bowel habits, etc. Wow, this sounds fantastic, man. I suddenly feel like I need to eat a lot of dates. But it's easy to make claims, all right? There is actually no published research to suggest that eating dates has any of these effects, all right? What they extrapolate on is that the constituents, vitamin A, vitamin B, calcium, iron, etc., etc., some of these are true. They may help some of these things. But just because all these little things you add together into one date doesn't mean that the dates has all of these effects, all right? And the truth of the matter is dates are not particularly good sources of any of these nutrients. At most, they have 1 to 2% of your daily requirement, all right? But what dates have is a lot of sugar, all right? More sugar than any other fresh fruit, almost twice as much as the next highest fruit, okay? So again, you look at the site, just because, again, it's a snazzy website, nice font and all that, doesn't make it true. All right, there are a lot of nutritional fake news, right? There are a lot of superfoods, I call them super myths. There's actually no proper definition of a superfood, right? This is a marketing term. People add the word super and everybody thinks, oh, this is great. All right, look at this common list of superfoods. I'm sure it's recognizable to a lot of people. Okay, we'll pick one of them, Asahi. Asahi is a nice as ice cream, and I treat it as ice cream, but I don't pretend that I take Asahi is going to make me super healthy. All right, so again, Global Healing Center, again a very nice sounding name, okay? 12 healing benefits of Asahi berries. Guess what they sell? Asahi berries. All right. Now, it's another good website. So a lot of us are interested in complementary health, nutrition, etc. So this is a good site. Okay, you can take a picture again. National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health. So this is run by the National Institutes of Health in the USA. So they actually look at all the research pertaining to all of these complementary health things. So it's not say that it's no good, but look at it in a critical eye before you decide that you want to invest your money or your time in it. Okay. All right, so this is what they say about this was on what would we do? This is Asahi, correct. All right, so very little research done on the health effects of Asahi, no definite scientific evidence in people to support its use. So there have been some studies in rats, but you cannot extrapolate what works for a rat to a human being. But that's what people do, right? The study in a rat, then they say the rat apparently lost weight when you take Asahi. So they say, okay, Asahi makes people lose weight. They extrapolate for you, but in the when you look at the thing, they'll just say, it said Asahi makes you lose weight. They didn't tell you that it's because of it was done in only rats. All right. So there's actually when you look at conclusion, little reliable information about the safety of Asahi as a supplement. It's widely consumed as an edible fruit or juice. It may affect your MRI test results, but essentially, you can see this, but you can still see Asahi sold all over the place and sell as very expensive superfood. All right, so before you invest your hard-earned money in all these so-called superfoods, have a look at this website and see is there really truth behind all that. All right, so why buy them? All right, a lot of spin. Basically, it's always very expensive because most of the money is actually through marketing. All right, and I think until you have better scientific evidence, you should invest your time and money on getting your antioxidants from traditional fruit and vegetable sources. All right. All right, so there's no one superfood. Think super diets instead. All right. Focus. Wow. If I'm talking too long, the battery's still running out. Greg. Okay, can you all hear me? Yeah. Okay, I use my own voice. Oh, okay, Well, great, you're good. All right. So don't focus on the effect of a single nutrient or a single food, but rather on the total effect of food on your health. All right. This is another example. Okay, this is again the raw food world. In 2 days, study shows colon cancer significantly improved with coconut oil treatment. So this is an actual study. There actually was a study, but it was on. This study was actually done in test tubes and rats, not in human beings. All right. They used this thing called lauric acid. All right, which coconut oil has 50%, but they use 100% in a test tube or in the rats. But again, people saw the bottom line, and then they put it big headlines: coconut oil cures cancer. All right. Again, you should know it's a very big difference from treating rats and test tubes and treating human beings. Okay. So be very careful of these so-called studies. People like to use the word studies show. Ask them what study on who, study on what. Okay. And as usual, raw food world, guess what they sell? Coconut oil. Huh? All right, so be aware of misrepresentation. Okay, so another way to look is who is quoted. All right, if it's a credible story, you will see that it will spread. Right, the mainstream news will pick it up. Right, New York Times, Straits Times, etc., etc. Although that's not always doesn't mean that's always true, but that's at least a good indication. But you see that the mainstream news doesn't follow it, but it's all these alternate sites. Then that should make you think about whether how true can this news be, lah. All right. Another one you can use if you this Snopes.com, factcheck.org, or Health News Review. These are also sites that make it a point to do deeper research into all these health claims. Okay. So think critically about your health claims. Okay, just because a treatment is natural, popular, or old does not mean it's beneficial or safe. So, for example, apricot kernels. How many of you heard of apricot kernels? Okay, it's sold in health food stalls. Okay, so there's some claims that apricot kernels can cure cancer, but actually apricot kernels are poisonous. If you take above a certain amount, you can die from it. In fact, that's how this. It's covered in arsenic. There's that actor, the one who did in the Great Escape. 17. Yeah. Anyway, there's this actor, I can't remember his name, but he had cancer. He decided to take a lot of it, and he died from arsenic poisoning. All right. New brand name or more expensive treatments may not be better than older ones. So this even applies to into medication. All right. Just because it's brand name doesn't mean there are a lot of generics versus brand names. It's a different topic, but essentially, just because it's branded or it's more expensive doesn't mean that it's better. Okay. Treatment usually comes with both harms and benefits. All right. That's why doctors always tell you, okay, you do this surgery, these are the benefits, but these are potential complications, etc. We always tell you two sides of the story. If someone tells you there's only good and there's no bad, right? There's no free lunch in the world, okay? If someone tells you this is only good, there's nothing bad, you better think about it again, okay? That should be a big red alarm bell that, hey, there's no such thing as free lunch. All right, beware of conflicts of interest. So that means if the guy is selling it, right, then he's decide that he tell you all these good things about it, you better think twice again. All right, personal experience, expert opinion, testimonials, antidotes, they are not reliable basis for assessing the effects of most treatments. That's why in science, in medicine, most of our treatments, there are scientific studies where we compare what we call randomized trials, etc. Okay? Okay, be aware of confirmation bias. So confirmation bias is when you already made up your mind about something, and then you just find news to support yourself. So if you put there, if you search headaches, why do I have headaches? You will come up with a lot of different sites. But if you type in your search column, headaches, tumor, brain tumor, the first one will come out about how brain tumors, one of the symptoms is headaches, and then we'll just, see, brain tumor, I must have a brain tumor because I have a headache. So the way you type in your search also will affect the type of things that you receive. So be aware of confirmation bias. That means you're already biased, and then you only look at information that confirms what you thought, and things that doesn't confirm what you think, you discard. Okay, and it's a very human thing. Be aware of it. Most important is do your part. Stop the spread of fake news. Okay, so it's the biggest demographic using Facebook now is actually middle-aged people, like myself and all of you. All right, and I know the family WhatsApp group. My dad and his relatives and friends, they send a lot of stuff on the WhatsApp, lah. Okay, and a lot of it there's actually I think it's fake news, lah. But it's hard, lah. It's hard for me to tell my dad, hey, Dad, can you stop it? This is all fake stuff, right? It's hard, even though I'm a doctor, and my father is also a doctor, by the way. it's difficult lah. I mean, but I do say, hey, that, because when it comes from him, whoever receives say, hey, this doctor sent this, it must be true. So I've been telling him that he's getting better at it. But similarly, we can all do our part, all right? So don't just, it's not an innocent forward. Don't think of it as, oh, my friend forward to me, I forward to my friends, okay? When you forward it, you add your authenticity to it. Your friend thinks that you approve of it, all right? So it's not just a simple thing of spread or forwarding, all right? So don't give your endorsement freely, all right? Think of it that way. Don't give your endorsement freely because you may harm your friends, all right? So if after all of that, you want the more in-depth tutorial, you can find it here, all right? So this it's quite easy to go through, all right? Again, you can take photo here, all right? For those of you who are interested to go into more depth about how you can evaluate the internet news, you can find it here. Okay. All right, and there's a nice book here. This is in layman's language. It's about testing treatments. So it's not about, it's about how to evaluate not only just fake news, but actually a lot of what's the true, so-called true news, the way we interpret studies. So even in the scientific method, even the so-called real science, there are bad ways or there are poor ways to evaluate it, and there are good ways to evaluate it. And the best way is for you to be more educated yourself so that you can talk to your doctor in a more beneficial way about the treatments that you receive. Okay, so in conclusion, fake news, fake medical news is all over the internet, the media, the WhatsApp. It can be harmful, so please don't spread it. Don't get hurt by fake news. Only use credible sources. Learn how to evaluate the source of information. And in the end, discuss this information with your trusted medical professional. All right, thank you for your attention. Any questions? Yes.
What are the local sites that we can rely on?
Local sites, wow, that's a good question, man.
Singapore Cancer Society.
Yes, that will be one. Yes, thank you very much. I think Singapore Cancer Society, but yes, I'm afraid that.
It's not cancer related.
What type of news are you talking about? Like,
Anything like health.
well, most of the hospitals will have their own websites. So you can always type like your query, then NUH, SGH, digoxin. Usually there will be some information on it.
NCC, NCRS.
Yeah, NCIS, yeah, mainly cancer ones.
I have a question.
Health Promotion Board, yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'll ask you, my friends, you mentioned contrary to the belief of about the Jews, about the thing that make it cure the cancer, and then have to go lymph for that everything. My friend saw the doctor for this cancer. So when the doctor advised him that there will be chance of, it's an advanced stage so it's chance to be a 50-50. So either way, you don't take it, it's okay. You take it, you can try also. Because 50-50, no harm for you to try. Is it that way? Is it
I think maybe that may be how your friend interpret. I think whenever someone has advanced cancer, it's always bad news. All right. When we say certain treatments are 50-50, that means look, you take this, there's a 50% chance you may get better. There's a 50% chance you may not get better. But I always put it the other way around. If you don't do anything, it's 100% chance you don't get better, right? But why we say it like that is because doctors always have to manage your expectation. We don't want to lie to you and say, oh yeah, just because we want you to do something doesn't mean we lie to get you to do something, right? I may think this is the best for you, but I still have to tell you, look, it's 50-50 because 50% may help you get better, but it does come at a cost, right? I'm not talking about money cost. I'm talking about there may be some side effects, etc. The person himself must feel, do I want to spend the time, the money, and the potential risk of complications for 50% chance of getting better? All right. Of course, your friend may have just reduced it to the doctor said like, but usually it goes along the lines of something like that. And that is fine. That is fine. Okay, I think if that is the way to go. But because everybody responds differently. Some patients may feel, look, if it's 50-50 chance, I just want to do the minimum, just be comfortable, spend the rest of my time with my family and go on with that. And that's not wrong. That is not a wrong choice, as long as it's based on fact. Okay? Doctors cannot tell you what to do. We can tell you our opinion based on the science, all right? But in the end, your own personal value comes to it. You know, there are always these stories about how the lady is like, oh, instead of spending all my money on chemo, I'm going to book myself on a first-class cruise, enjoy the rest of my time. At the end of it, I'm gone. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's her choice. Okay? As long as she knows that at the end of that cruise, she may be gone. Right? As opposed to, hey, if you fight on, you may live another 1 year or 2 years, but it's 50-50.
Okay, any more questions?
This one, does recently the POFMA bill was passed. Does it cover medical fake news?
That's a good question. I haven't had a chance to look in depth in that thing. It sounds more leaning towards politics than fake
This
news.
can do a lot more harm than that.
I agree with you there. I think it boils down to people making complaints about it. Yeah, so it may be that this gives us an infrastructure to complete. But the problem is on the internet, if it comes from outside of Singapore, how can they police it? Right? If it came from Singapore, a Singaporean in a local website, yes, they can police it. But a lot of this stuff is actually from abroad. I don't think our Singapore laws, the arm is so long. In the end of the day, you've got to protect yourself. You cannot rely on other people doing the policing for you. If there are any more further questions? Anyway, if anyone is shy, you can approach me. I'll be here for a while more. All right. Otherwise, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Regression.